In this video, we'll illustrate how to use the filter command both within a particular worksheet and to import data from one worksheet into another worksheet, even if they're in different spreadsheets or in different people's accounts. So that right up here in the commands, there's a feature here that says to turn on and off the filters. Right now it's turned off, and you want to watch right here. As soon as I turn the filter on, to create a filter, you're going to see these um, objects and so forth appearing right there. Those, what you're seeing right there, that's going to be the filter. So, or at least the indication that the filter is capable. So if you look over here, you'll see all these various different letters. So let's say I want to filter for just the ones marked E. So I'm going to click on this and I'll say I'd like to clear the existing ones and select only for E. And you'll notice now that all we have here is E. And so if you look at the records over here, you'll notice that it skips between numbers like from 6 to 16 and so forth, because it's omitting various ones. To select them all again, you can just simply click on that and say that I would like to say select all. So let's say I wanted to select the stratovolcanoes that were in Honshu, Japan. So I would click over here and I'd say I'd like to, first of all, clear all of them. And then I'll go down here to look for a stratovolcano. So here's stratovolcano, which is right there. So stratovolcano. And I'll select that. And now we can see all we have is stratovolcanoes. And then if I wanted to look at Honshu, Japan, I'll click on here. I'll say clear all those, and I'll go just down to Honshu. I can type it in there, Japan, and say select. So now I'm looking for stratovolcanoes that are in Honshu, Japan. So I've trimmed the report now down from about 1,500 records down to maybe 20 or so. And so you can see right here that the kind of the funnel is indicating that we have applied a filter on location. We've also applied a filter over here on the type. Now, this is all done within a particular worksheet. The data is still there. So if I click on that and say I'd like to select all, and then I select all over here, now the filters are off, and we should have all of our 1,492 or so records back in place. Okay, so that's how to make filters within a worksheet. Now, to make them between worksheets, whether it's different spreadsheets or the same spreadsheet document, you can do so. The first thing you want to do is you're going to want to create a new tab. So here's a new tab, new worksheet. I'm going to change the color on that and make it easy to see. So we'll change that now to rename that, and we'll call that, let's say, stratovolcanoes. But I want to pull records from the red tab from volcanoes and import them here. So I'll say that I'd like to say equals filter, and then I need to go over to click on the volcanoes tab, and I'm going to select the entire document. So I'm going to click there. If I click in that corner up there, it says, hey, select everything. Then that's going to be the source of the data. And then the column we're going to use for the criteria is going to be the type, which is column C. So if I click right here, column C, you can see now that it's going to the volcanoes worksheet. That's what the exclamation point says there. And it's going from 1 to 1492, basically the entire spreadsheet. And then we're going to go over here to the particular column called volcanoes. And we're going to, column C, and within the volcanoes tab. And now I want to set the criteria. So I want to set it equals to, and then since it's text, I need to put it in quotes. If it was numeric, I would put it basically in just numbers without the quotes. I need to type it exactly as I'm looking for it. So stratovolcano, end quote, and then end the parentheses. So what we have here is we have now a command called filter. We're looking for the particular worksheet, which is called volcanoes, over the range, basically every single record in there. And then the next thing we're doing is we're choosing the column C is our criteria whenever column C equals stratovolcano. So like, for example, row 26 should come up there and be imported. So if I hit enter, there we can go. We can see that that is all now imported into that section. Now, let's say I wanted to now to change something here. So let's say, oh, I wanted to change a value here. If I start typing here, you can see that everything is deleted. Now, the reason it's deleted is because this cell up here was instructing the worksheet to import everything. So it says the array result was not expanded because it would overwrite the contents of D8. Well, here's D8. So if I delete D8, then everything comes back. However, I can make my own comments over here. So I could make whatever comments and so forth I want to put over there, and it has no bearing because this is outside the range that was imported. So up here in the top, this area here, I'm going to reserve for headers. Again, once again, that's not going to be a, it's not going to be imported because I put the actual command here. So if I view this now and I want to show here the commands, okay, the formulas, basically the only one which has a formula is this one right here. And so if I expand that, you can see that certainly that cell was a command. Everything else here was actually imported from that. And so now if I want to just import the titles, I can just simply say over here, I can just go over here and just copy these titles if I want to across, and just copy and paste them in here. Notice it has no bearing on the entire spreadsheet because the only cell that mattered was this cell as a command to import everything. But once again, if I start to type in this area here, if I type anything like, let's say I wanted to say it was a cone, boom, everything is deleted because this is an area that is being written over by this command here. So I need to delete that. So if you're trying to protect people from causing problems and so forth, then you could lock down all of this area here, everything that's there, by just simply putting the data and protect the range. So that way you could protect it so that the only cell that is, in fact, basically protect the whole thing so they can't delete anything other than the area outside of the imported range. So now let's say, however, you wanted to make comments, you wanted to suggest edits and so forth. Like let's say that this one in the Azores was actually a cinder cone. So you can click up here and say insert here that this is going to be a comment. It's going to be a cinder cone. And notice when I make the comment that that is not changing the spreadsheet, doesn't delete anything and so forth. And so what I could do is I could go back over there to record number 9. Now, seeing that comment, I can go back here to record number 9, look at for that, and then change that there, and it would have no bearing on this here. Whenever I see those yellow commands, it would re-import back here. And whenever I see the yellow triangle there, it indicates that there's a comment. I can just dismiss the comments when I've taken care of them. So once again, in this particular spreadsheet, everything that was defined right here, which is basically all of the information that's imported from here, that goes into this zone that you're seeing here, and that is you need to protect that so it's not written over. But all of the area outside is free for you to do whatever you wish and to make your own edits. And then if you want to make a comment on any particular thing so that you can change the original from which it's imported, simply click on that, go up and say insert a comment, and once you make the comment, then the editor will go back to the master worksheet and make the change, and then you can go back here and dismiss it. So very easy to work with filters here, and very powerful for ways to sort things in a database format.